Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of Britt and Nick Do the News. We are entering February because, as you guys know, this past Sunday was Groundhog's Day. That's right, Puxatawny Phil. Well, that little devil, he saw his shadow. That means 6 more weeks of winter for us. Unless I decide to pop that weasel and get spring break here a little quicker.
Yes, I wish the warmer months were coming soon, but it looks like they're fitting that 6 weeks of winter in one with 3 snowstorms headed my way in Maryland. I mean, we'll see what we really get. I don't think there'll be any major accumulation, but still, winter is still continuing on. Well, we're kicking off February with ending dry January, but some might think, okay, what's the big deal? What did a couple weeks do? Apparently a lot, especially with your liver. In just a few weeks, you can reduce something called liver stiffness, which is an early sign of liver disease or cirrhosis. People who participated with us should have had improved sleep quality, better decision making, and some creativity. Your skin complexion should have also improved as your body was able to produce more of the antidiuretic hormone vasopressin. Your blood pressure was even lowered. And as I can recall, when I would go hard in the paint, drinking a lot the night before, my heart rate would be out of control the next day, especially with working out. It would be in the 160 to 107 BPM range for just some light cardio. And it would take hours to return to a normal resting heartbeat long after I stopped working out. So I could definitely see that in myself. Consuming alcohol can also compromise your immune system, which during cold and flu season is probably the best to abstain from it, especially with the disease outbreaks I've been hearing about.
You are 100% correct, Nick. 2025 norovirus outbreak is surging through North Carolina and across, honestly, the entire U.S., especially hit hard after Thanksgiving. Early 2025 is being noted as the winter of the quad-demic. Yes, y'all heard it right, quad-demic, with COVID, RSV, flu, and walking pneumonia all going around at the same time. The 5th virus on the rise, that's right, is the norovirus, which is also kind of looking like a stomach bug. That's what a lot of people think of it as. You can get this disease by eating or drinking something contaminated by the virus, touching things like dirty doorknobs and keyboards, which all of us do all the time, and then going ahead and touching your face and mouth, and then coming into contact with an infected person by sharing, food or utensils. They say the greatest combatant to prevent the spread of viruses is regular old hand washing. They say that if you use alcohol-based sanitizers, that it really doesn't kill the same rate. So you're better off just doing the original hand washing. The good news about norovirus is it really only lasts 1 to 2 days, and it does come on very quickly. So once it's got you, it has you, and then it'll release you shortly thereafter. But the problem is it may have released you, but it did not release the disease, so you can still kind of spread it. So please be cautious and wash your hands. Stop touching your face.
Yeah, the South is definitely experiencing an uptick in this norovirus. And even in LA, there was a breakout in one of the fire evacuation centers, which, I mean, can you imagine not having a private bathroom or even a proper facility to take care of yourself while you're profusely vomiting and having controllable diarrhea?
No, I could not imagine it at all. I had it this past summer. And not to get into too graphic of detail, it was pretty dang bad. And the scent of the poo could gag a maggot. It is unlike any other I have smelled. Your mind can't even make up a scent like this. I've literally smelled a dead, rotting possum in the middle of Morgantown, West Virginia. And it didn't smell as bad as this. Not even close. It was probably like 30% less bad. I'm not even playing around.
Speaking of other diseases, tuberculosis is having an outbreak in Kansas. The CDC is unofficially announcing that this is the largest outbreak since the 1950s. Also, a case of the measles is reported in Atlanta. The person noted to have measles is unvaccinated, which is a good point that everybody should make sure that they stay up to date on their MMR vaccines, which will prevent against tuberculosis and as well as whooping cough. What about the bird flu? Dairy herds in Nevada are now testing positive for the avian bug, and people can catch it too. If the virus gets into their eyes, nose, or mouth or is inhaled, they can become sick, kind of like with flu symptoms. There's only been 67 confirmed bird flu infections in the U.S. The biggest issue I'm seeing is the price of eggs after millions of birds have died. It's getting so bad that people are willing to rob trucks in order to get their eggs. That's right. In Pennsylvania, 100,000 eggs were stolen worth $40,000. In December, eggs were at a record high of being at $4.15 per dozen. And even Waffle House is adding a 50-cent surcharge per egg to their menu.
Wow. I mean, honestly, they claim the eggs were valued at $40,000, but if they charge what they should be charging from the original standpoint, they'd be worth $20,000. So if they take it from that, the loss isn't so grand. Although I can't imagine going to Waffle House and not consuming eggs. So honestly, if you got to charge me 50 cents additional, I'm willing to pay.
I mean, if you're going to Waffle House, what are you going to get there besides an egg breakfast?
I mean, of course you'll have
waffles.
Yeah, right. I mean, of course you will have waffles, but like a waffle alone, no. You need eggs, you need bacon, sausage, hash browns, probably some toast. Yes, I'm a carby Barbie. I starch load, but I don't drink booze, so I can do that now.
All right. This past Sunday, we had the Grammys. Kendrick Lamar won big with his diss track, Not Like Us. It's now the most awarded rap song in U.S. history. He also won Record of the Year, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, Best Music Video, and Best Song of the Year. Good thing Drake skipped this year because I'm sure the camera would have panned to him several times for reactions. Another surprise win was Beyonce winning Best Country Album with Cowboy Carter, as well as Best Album of the Year for it. Beyonce is now the biggest Grammy winner of all time with a total 35 awards. It's called like this that makes sense why artists like The Weeknd boycott the Grammys. You really have to be in with the committee. Except, The Weeknd broke his promise with performing at the Grammys this year, and also a famous return, Kanye. He made his first time appearance since 2015 with his wife, Bianca. He was pulling moves before the big event, like unfollowing people on Instagram, except for Taylor Swift, and posting how he's once again a declared billionaire. And then, while on the red carpet, his wife practically strips nude just to later get in a car and leave the event altogether. I guess Kanye's goal was achieved when the internet's most popular search was Bianca Censori and Grammys. He proclaimed that his wife is more popular than the Grammys and the most popular person on the internet. He's full of stunts, and I'm not surprised.
Is anybody surprised when it comes to stunts from Kanye? I mean, he's a good rapper and a decent producer, but he is not a traditional man by no means. A lot of commentary cropped up after his wife, pretty much like you had just said, all but stripped buck naked on the red carpet for everyone to see. People are concerned for her safety, her well-being, her, mental health. So tread lightly, Kanye. We've got a little bit more eyes on you now. And it's not just because you're a billionaire. Also, what's the deal with people with a lot of money always saying they have a lot of money? Like, we don't know. It doesn't make us like you or dislike you anymore.
Well, let's get back to the actual winners of the event. Sabrina Carpenter, she had a good year. She won for Best Pop Vocal Album with Short and Sweet, as well as her song Espresso, winning Best Pop Solo Performance. This past year's breakout star, Chappell Roan, won Best New Artist. Doechii for Best Rap Album. Alligator Bites Never Heal. Chris Brown is actually back to being a winner again with his Best R&B Album 1111. And Best Dance Pop Recording went to Charlie XCX for Von Dutch, as well as Best Dance Electronic Album Brat. Taylor Swift walked away with nothing besides the jeweled T on her upper thigh.
Honestly, it really goes to show it's who you know. The Grammys is definitely a palm lacing affiliation, so it's all about how much money you pay or who you're caught up with, in my opinion. Because our great guy, Post Malone, he had 18 nominations and also was like T-Swift, walked away with 0. But I'd rather have a clean soul and a pure heart than a whole bunch of Grammy trophies hanging up in my house. So good for you, Posty.
Yeah, 18. That's a lot. And honestly, I mean, I don't think he put his album up for best country, but that new country album, I thought it hit. He had lots of famous features and definitely some catchy tunes on that. So I would have probably voted for that one out of all of them.
Without question.
Back to Taylor Swift. You know, she probably scurried out of the Grammys and headed straight for New Orleans because guess what's on Sunday? The Super Bowl. We got Kansas City Chiefs against, that's right, the Philly Eagles. Gosh, I feel like we've seen this before, right? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, both of those teams have very similar stats, with the KC Chiefs 17-2 and the Philly Eagles with a record of 17-3. Now, this Super Bowl, it will take place at Caesars Superdome in NOLA. That's right, New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a 166,000 square foot stadium, and it was erected in 1975. The halftime show will include Hot Topic rap artist Kendrick Lamar, as well as SZA and Playboy Cardi. I can't wait to see Kendrick, so I'm super stoked. But like most fans, I'll just have to settle for seeing Kendrick on TV, because apparently the median average price of a ticket to the Super Bowl is $8,076. That's right. 8,000 buckaroos to be there in person. So talk about expensive. I don't know about you, Nick, but I wouldn't have the funds to do all of that. If the Chiefs win this year, it will be considered a three-peat. And that means if Kansas City wins, they will have the rare distinction of being the only team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. So we shall see. A win over the Eagles will also give the Chiefs 4 Super Bowl titles over a 6-year span. And this is only something that the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers have accomplished. If you piece the stats, though, the New England Patriots have the largest amount of wins with 6 from the years of 2001 to 2018. But that's a whole 17 years. Win 6, whereas the Steelers, they won 4 in 5 years. And the Green Bay Packers, well, they won 5 in 6 years. Everyone's a buzz about the WAGs, though. You know what the WAGs are of athletes? You ever heard of that term?
Oh, the wives. I was like,
Yeah.
wags? What's a wag? But no, the wives of the players, of course, the most important part of the game. What do you have to say about it, Britt?
Amen. Yes, wives and girlfriends of famous athletes. That's what a lot of people are really interested in, and particularly, obviously, the female population, but that's fine. We like what we like. Brittany Mahomes is going to be there. Taylor Swift, Gabby Esposito. She's a girlfriend of cornerback Trent McDuffie. And of course, Isabel Butker, wife of Harrison Butker, who has been the spotlight for some controversial opinions for his heavy support of Donald Trump. But it doesn't matter. She's beautiful. The Eagles have some wags on their side as well, including Saquon Barkley's longtime partner and mother of his 2 children, Anna Condon. And Jalen Hurts' beautiful fiance, Brianna Rivera Burrows, she's slated to be there as well. Lane Johnson's girlfriend is Kelsey Homer, an up-and-coming social media content creator. And even though this offensive tackle, he's bald, he's still full of beauty. So I know we're really supposed to be there for the game. But me personally, I like to see the wags, and I want to see the halftime show.
What about the commercials? Isn't that like another?
True. Oh my gosh, the loving commercials. Yes.
Shane Gillis and Post Malone, I guess they're going to release a Bud Light commercial, so I've got to see them. They're 2 of my favorite dudes. But yeah, you're talking about the wags. Do you think Taylor Swift, she's going to be added to the list? I heard there's all this speculation that the Chiefs will be down when they hit halftime, and Travis Kelce is going to give some speech in the locker room, and then they're going to come out, win the game, and he's going to propose on the field to her. Do you think any of that will happen, or is this just all made up?
Wowzer, I did not hear about this. I would love for that to happen. That would be my dream for the Super Bowl, but who can call it? And honestly, doesn't it like cheapen it when everybody knows like they're probably going to be down, then he's going to do some big power speech? It's like, Dang, FanDuel really got y'all on some, huh?
No wonder people are betting on it. Literally, I have to look into that.
For sure. I guarantee you that they are. I mean, anytime someone could potentially make a little bit of guap, they usually try to go for it. And some people have a crippling gambling addiction. So there's always that as well.
Let's move things a little more serious. Let's talk about the FDA. Hopefully, one of the organizations that Trump doesn't cancel. They have upgraded a recall on Lay's potato chips to a class 1, stating that the probability of the product can cause serious adverse health consequences, even death. Apparently, Frito-Lay's recalled over 6,000 bags, which was due to undeclared milk usage. Affected areas include Oregon and Washington states that include a guaranteed fresh date by February 11th. The FDA approves the first non-opioid painkiller in over 2 decades. Durnavex works by blocking proteins that trigger pain signals before they actually reach the brain. The Trump administration withdraws FDA plan to ban menthol cigarettes. This ban was considered to impact the smoking of youth in Black communities. But what about the youth in those Zyn pouches? Looks like the FDA is putting their stamp of approval on the use of these pouches to combat smoking.
It is true. The FDA isn't canceled at all. In fact, they're fully backing a typically non-supported product. The Food and Drug Administration is now currently authorizing the marketing of 20 Zyn nicotine pouches. On January 16, 2025, this decision was announced, and this is the first time the FDA has authorized nicotine pouches in the U.S. They claim Zyn poses a lower risk of cancer and other serious health conditions that cigarettes or other smokeless tobacco may cause. Zyn could also be a better alternative for folks who already smoke. So if you're trying to stop smoking, maybe use Zyn pouches instead. They claim also that their decision was based on a rigorous scientific review. For those that don't know, Zyn are small pouches made of a synthetic fiber that contain nicotine. So essentially they dip the fiber in a whole bunch of nicotine juice, seal it up, and then make you shove it in between your gum and your upper lip, although some people prefer the bottom. These products are produced by Swedish Match, who is a subsidiary of Philip Morris International. I don't know. To me, this kind of poses a conflict of interest. That's one of the reasons I personally believe that they are backing these Zyn pouches. Of course, there's always the idea of harm reduction, which everyone's in favor of. You know, if you originally smoked cigarettes every day, a whole pack, and you whittle it down to a half a pack, that's already progress. But for the Food and Drug Administration to physically back the, support of Zyn, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of shaking hands with Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, all that. The backing of essentially U.S. tobacco, firearms, and alcohol, baby. Why won't they allow for national marijuana? The tobacco companies believe that's a competitor. Not a gateway drug specifically, a competition. Like if I could have the option to smoke a weed versus a cigarette, I would maybe pick that. So that's one of the reasons I believe that they haven't done the national okay on the smoke hay.
Just randomly going to bring up, you mentioned placing the pouch in your bottom, and I literally thought in your butt. And I'm curious, has anyone ever stuck a Zyn pouch up their butt? Because that would be interesting.
We'll have to find out more info, but I guarantee you people have shoved an entire pack, the whole 20 of Zyn up their booty. I would guarantee it.
I mean, that would make you puke, right? I just remember that movie Sandlot, and when all those kids were stuffing chew in their mouth, they were puking their guts out on that ride.
That's true. Now, was that because of the nicotine or was that because of the tobacco? I think they kept swallowing it. They didn't realize they were supposed to kind of just ingest and then spit it back out. I think they were just swallowing. But wow, what a great throwback. I love that movie, Sandlot.
That's still one of my favorites. Brings me back to my childhood. But yeah, sorry to fall off track there. Let's get back in there. Tit for tat tariffs with Trump. Trump was rolling out the tariff tax plan, as we all know. And that being said, he would tax on imports, specifically imposing 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, though Canadian energy faces a lower tariff at 10% and 10% tariffs on goods from China. The response from these countries? Let's retaliate. China responding with tariffs on U.S. imports up to 15% when it comes to coal, liquefied natural gas, crude oil, agriculture machinery, and large engine cars, as well as restricting exports on key minerals used in high-tech industries. Canada's response? Counter tariffs worth $155 billion. And that's right. They're going straight for the American liquor, pulling them off the shelves. Trump has agreed to delay these tariffs for 30 days for both Mexico and Canada after both have committed to increased border control.
Nick, have you seen the image that's been going around on Reddit and the rest of the internet where they have photos within a Canadian liquor store where they pulled off all the liquor from the red states and they say, buy Canadian booze instead? Have you seen that picture?
No, I just knew they were taking like items like Jim Beam and Johnny Walker off the shelf, but I didn't go looking for picture evidence.
Yeah, they pulled Jack Daniels because it's out of Tennessee, Bacardi rum, since it's out of Florida, Tito's vodka, a good favorite of ours, out of Texas, Jim Beam from Kentucky, and Bullet Bourbon from Kentucky as well. So I guess if you're from a state that creates booze, but you're blue, you're good to go. But if you red, maybe even purple, they say no.
Wait, they're targeting red states?
Yeah, it's specifically only Republican states. So if like the state of New York or whatever comes out with booze or they already produce, they're allowing them to stay. It's red states only, Republican only.
That's fine. More for us and their loss.
It's true. It's true. Although I do like Crown Rule.
What are we missing out? Canadian Labatt? Like, what is that beer? I'm like, we're not missing out.
Oh, yeah. Labatt Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, girl. They got Molson as well. And Molson is real nice. Dang. It's dry February, you guys. Don't fall off.
That's right. Keep on the dry. Airlines, the best and worst list came out, and on top is Delta. That's right. This is their fourth consecutive win. We had runner-ups Alaskan Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and Hawaiian Airlines. The worst is, of course, Frontier and Spirit, but it's okay. Overall, the airline industry is doing better. That's right. This year, they held it together after losing fewer bags, and more than 3 out of 4 flights arrived on time.
Great. So glad they're doing what they should have been doing at the beginning. Also, is anybody at all surprised that Frontier is at the bottom of the list? That airline is a joke. I will never again, never. I'll crawl on glass that's broken to my destination than ever get on their flights and play around with their staff. It was a bad experience, to say the least.
Since we're on the topic of airlines, it's the appropriate time to bring up the regional passenger plane that collided with the U.S. Army helicopter near Washington, D.C. on January 29th. They have now recovered all of the 67 bodies and are still getting the remains out of the river.
Yes, that is such a tragic event, completely unexpected and probably very preventable. So our heart goes out to the entire crew and all of the passengers. Just a very, very sad, extremely heartbreaking event. And we're just so glad that we have excellent and dedicated fire and rescue teams, search parties, the whole bit. That's one thing I can say. If something does occur, we have the manpower and the heart and the drive to go on ahead and try to correct whatever has happened. Once again, thoughts and prayers go out to all of those affected, all the loved ones of those that have passed from that event.
Let's turn it to some movie news. This week, I caught The Substance with Demi Moore on Mubi, the OTT streaming platform. The movie was about a famous actress fitness star who was getting a little washed up with age and getting weeded out for a younger actress. But she turns it all around by resorting to the substance, which is more like a medical procedure that produces a younger self. The story combats the dilemma between two selves, one younger, one older, and turns quite grotesque near the end. I didn't mind because the art of disgust was played out so well. I also caught Kinda Pregnant with Amy Schumer. You can catch that on Netflix. The story is about a woman who is down in the dumps and everybody around her seems to be getting pregnant, her biggest dream. So she fakes pregnant for one day and gets caught in the dilemma of running with this lie. It's extremely funny. I love Amy Schumer and I'm a big fan of physical comedy. So strap a prosthetic baby bump on. You can run amok with that.
Too true. Oh my gosh. I didn't see it, but I know a lot of folks don't like her, but I enjoy her. I find her to be pretty comical and I'm going to have to check it out. There are a few new movies coming out for 2025. One really piqued my interest and it's called Locked. It features Anthony Hopkins as well as Bill Skarsgård, and apparently it is the English remake of the 2019 Argentinian action film 4x4. This film is to be released on March 21st, 2025, and it's produced by Sam Raimi. Sam, he's known for a lot of stuff, even if you guys don't know he's part of it. He produced Spider-Man, the 2002 version, the best, as well as Drag Me to Hell from 2009, Evil Dead 2013, and The Grudge, if y'all recall that, in 2004. He also produced a great flick, one of my husband's favorite all-time movies, Boy Kills World, in 2023. That also features Bill Skarsgård as well. You can find that on Hulu as well as Disney Plus if you have the premium package. And essentially, at least according to Wikipedia, the plot revolves around a campaign of vengeance enacted by a martial arts expert rendered as a deaf mute by an attack that killed his whole family, whose thoughts are pretty much narrated as an inner voice derived by a childhood video game. It's not just Bill, because you won't hear Bill's voice at all. It's H. John Benjamin's voice that narrates. And if you all know, he is in charge of Bob's Burgers, Archer, and the throwback home movies.
Do we have any tasty new treats popping up this month, Brittany? I saw something about Subway coming out with a foot-long Oreo cake cookie. I also had seen some heart-shaped donuts at Dunkin', which just looks like the normal donuts, iced on top and filled with either the brownie butter or looks like Boston cream.
Yeah, I know Valentine's Day isn't too far from the beginning, start of the year, but golly, you think they could have kept with the health a little harder. All they got is jumbo-sized Oreos and donuts filled with more cream and sugar than we all need. But you know what? I'm not going to front. I'll probably try them all out because I'm a glutton for sugar and starch, and you put a baked good anywhere near my face and it is getting consumed. But as far as 2025 is concerned, it's kind of a movement, right? It's a movement towards healthier eating and healthier life practices in general. So I know you have a few pals, as do I, that are big on the sourdough game. It's become a really popular choice for pizza crust, flatbreads, and even desserts like brownies. So sourdough is definitely in the mix for sure. Dumplings, apparently those are really making a surge as well. International foods in general are becoming a lot more popular as people start to kind of go out into the world and explore the palates of it a little bit more. Alternative pastas have also been popping up a lot more recently. Now, you could even say that's not just a 2025 thing, and you'd be right. It's been occurring for the past few years. I've seen zoodles made out of zucchini, chickpea pasta. That sounds not so grand to me. I have tried the mushroom pasta, and honestly, Flavor wise, not terrible at all. Bite wise, it's literally like when you're trying to chew up an octopus. Like I cannot, I just eventually swallow it. I can't break it up. I just have to swallow it because I guess my teeth aren't sharp enough to slice them bad boys. But of course, the spaghetti squash has its place. And I saw the other day grilled onions in place of spaghetti pasta. Yeah, they put the red and, the meat sauce on top, but it was on top of grilled onions, which doesn't sound bad. But are we really going to pretend that that's a replacement for pasta? Like, I'll just have a quarter the amount of pasta.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they're grilling up a whole bunch of onions and pouring marinara on it. That just sounds absolutely disgusting. I do support, they have the In-N-Out burgers that have the grilled onion rings on the top and the bottom instead of a bun. I support that. That makes more sense. And I do like grilled onions, but a whole bowl with marinara just sounds freaking like fire breath. Honestly, and bad indigestion, that tomato and oh my gosh, it's a recipe for disaster. I would stick to the marinara and spaghetti squash. I actually enjoy doing that.
I'll tell you what, you nailed the top comments. A lot of people were saying that it sounds like gas on a plate and that they were going to toot their way to the bathroom and on their way to pick up a new pack of Barilla because they ain't messing with the onions no more. Like, no more. I'll just be chubby, babe.
It makes me ill thinking of eating that many onions. I just couldn't ever. Who thought of this? Like, seriously, who thought of this? I want to know.
Somebody that was mad at themselves and wanted to get back at someone else. Like, oh, you want to go on a diet? Well, here's the dye part of it. Lavender apparently is making a resurgence. It's popping up in dinner items, desserts, and of course, some lovely cocktail beverages. And the last thing I'll mention is high-low food combos. That's apparently going real hard in the paint. They got caviar on saltines, high quality cheeses with low grade pasta in case you decide you don't want to use onions. And of course, like hamburger helper with like Wagyu beef, almost like throwing it back to like 2013 Andy Milonakis days with the makeshift gourmet. So apparently that's really big now. Taking some, not so great stuff and pairing it with some highfalutin items. So it sounds like my life, Yeah,
that's your menu. In fast food news, at Taco Bell will be releasing birthday cake churro balls February 20th through March 5th. I personally love the Cinnabon Delights they served. I could house probably 20 of them. So I'm going to have to give this one a try.
It sounds divine.
Speaking of more treats, Girl Scout cookies. The ladies are out and about, but they are discontinuing two types of cookies, the s'mores and the toast yays, which I've not heard of either of them, so I will not be missing out. The price of a box of cookies could cost you $7 now, which is an increase of $1 from the past 2 years. The organization last hiked prices in 2015, where we used to pay between $4 to $5 a box. So inflation is hitting hard there as well. And don't worry, you don't have to hunt these ladies down in the streets. Starting February 21st through April, you can go on the GS USA website and order your cookies yourself.
See, I personally like to be hassled in front of the Walmart the original way. So I will not be seeking out anything online. Also, I won't be shedding a tear about whatever Yays won and the s'mores. If I want s'mores, I don't understand it. I'll just make a s'more. I don't need s'more flavored items. And as far as the other one, I never heard of it, so I'll never miss it. But if they did anything with those Thin Mints, I'm coming for them.
Thin Mints better stay. Samoas or caramel delights, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. Those must stay as well. I'm trying to think of other favorites. I did like those peanut butter patty ones. Those were delightful. I think that's what they're called, right? Peanut butter delights, maybe?
I think they used to be called tagalongs.
Ooh, yeah, the tagalongs.
And then Do-si-dos, that's the double peanut butter, the two peanut butter cookies with the peanut butter in the center. Do-si-dos. Yes. I was a Girl Scout. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What about them shortbread cookies? Are you a fan of those?
Actually, I'm not even going to front. Those are my favorite.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I know. It's just like it's like a repeat bad version of when I kept picking the gingerbread and molasses over and over. Nobody wanted me to do it, but I had the palate of Grandma, Meemaw, and so I picked them. And also, it was seasonally appropriate, so you guys can't even hate for me for that.
Yeah, shortbread cookies though, it's just so basic.
They are, but the thing is, you can do anything you want with them. You slap some Nutella, then they're doing that thing. You know, you can add some cinnamon sugar to some cream cheese, get it in there that way. Honestly, you could also crush them down and make a pretty cool graham cracker-esque type of crust for any other type of desserts that you want to make. You know, a lot of the time they layer with the what are they called? The Vienna fingers and stuff like that. Why not give these a whirl? I think they taste better. A classic. I don't know though. I said it's my favorite, but I still might have to make up for that and say it's Thin Mints. That I think that's the real OG for me.
Thin mints, y'all.
Yum, delicious. Now, since it is like you said, Valentine's month, the month of love.
Month. Yeah, I'm as single as anybody. You know, I celebrate Valentine's Day all month. Right.
Girl, whatever's clever. They got so many good treats out. I'm like, dang, keep your sourdough, y'all. I need some freaking cream stuffed donuts. No, but we could do another Which Would You Rather if you'd like.
Are you going to lead it?
I shall lead.
Sure, I'll play.
Which would you rather, champagne or Prosecco?
What's the difference? No, seriously, what's the difference? I don't understand.
It's the regionality. Champagne is made only from specific grapes grown in the Champagne region of France. But maybe I should make it a little bit more difficult. Should I pick like champagne versus wine? Maybe that one.
I mean, that probably make more sense, but I probably would have said Prosecco if that was the case. But I'm champagne or wine. I'm gonna go probably with wine, just because there's so many different types of varieties, the reds, the whites, and you know the varieties in those colors. So I go with the wine.
I'm gonna have to agree. I do enjoy champagne, but varieties of wine is so much more grand. I mean, you got the rosés, you got the white wines, you got all the classic hearty reds. So I would totally go with wine too.
Plus, if you want that carbonation, just get a sparkling rosé. So really, wine wins.
Wine does win. Now, which would you prefer? Milk chocolate covered strawberries or dark chocolate covered raspberries?
I'm like, can we swip and swap? I want the dark chocolate strawberries.
But no, you cannot.
I mean, let's think about it, guys. The raspberries, they have just these pouches of seeds. It's like I'm chewing mostly seeds. So do I want to enjoy chocolate on top of that? Probably not. Do you know what I'm saying? I know strawberries got seeds on the outsides, but you can barely tell they're there. So I guess I'm going to have to go milk chocolate on strawberries.
Heard. Well, I like milk chocolate better. And strawberries and raspberries are the same level to me. So I will also pick chocolate covered strawberries. All right. How about this one? Would you prefer a beautiful, like one of those big helium-filled balloons, or would you prefer a cute little stuffed animal?
Neither. Can you just give me flowers? I just want flowers because then they die and I can throw them away. The balloons, I keep thinking of the poor turtles. I don't know why. Whenever someone lets a balloon go, I assume it like results in the ocean and wraps around a turtle's neck, or they eat it. So I don't really prefer balloons as gifts. And then stuffed animals, I'm not a child, and it's just gonna like what, sit on my bed and what? That's it. I don't want it.
Heard. So you just picked none straight up.
I'm just not even participating in that one. I said no.
Me personally, I'm totally picking the balloon. I do not really enjoy stuffed animals. Once again, I agreed. I'm not a kid, so I don't really like them too much. I've always found them to be a little bit of a dust collector. But maybe it's also just because I'm heartless, hard to call it. I will say whenever I was younger, my family would take me and my sisters to the bank and they would say, which do you prefer, a lollipop sucker or would you like a balloon? And I was always the young weirdo that was like, I will take a lolly because balloons always die. And the lady was just looking like, dang, that's so morbid. But true, but true.
It's true.
Final one.
Good.
Which would you prefer, Nick? A beautiful dozen of long stem roses that will technically inevitably die, but are so beautiful, or a little house plant such as a Swiss cheese monstera that can sit on your counter but live a lot longer.
Britt, I'm going to go with the roses. They're already going to die. I didn't cut them, but if I'm given a plant, I'm going to kill it. So I'm going to definitely go with the roses. Something beautiful, smells sweet. And honestly, red roses equals Valentine's Day. So that's what I'm going with.
I'm in full agreement, girl. I love plants, but I'm no green thumb. I would also select the roses. Complete and total representation of Valentine's Day, but also I won't feel bad when it inevitably dies because I knew this day was coming. Whereas the poor Swiss cheese monster, I put that final nail in the coffin.
Good one, Britt. Didn't know we were playing a game today, but I'm glad, especially that it's Valentine's Day themed, that you brought it out for us.
No doubt, girl. You know I love a which would you rather. So much easier to pick like cool stuff versus cool stuff as opposed to which would you prefer? A
Farts
peanut
or
head? Farts or burps? Farts or burps? Pick. I'm a belcher, so I pick burping.
I'm going burping. It's so much less disgusting than having air blown out your ass.
Oh my God. They both kind of gross, but you know what? It's wherever it's trapped. The belch is still up on the top end of the intestines and the fart is on the bottom end of the intestines.
Right. We know how it works, Brittany.
We didn't need biology class, so I guess you're right. It is a little nastier for it to come out the butt.
It matters which region. But yes, the farts always smell worse than burps, in my opinion, and I think that's pretty fact-based.
Yeah, right? Northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Take your pick of foulness.
Well, that wraps us up for another episode of Britt and Nick Do the News. We'll catch you in 2 weeks with our next episode.
Peace out, y'all.